Hi everybody, Vicky here. Thank you for joining me once again. Welcome back. Today I'm going to lead you through about a 30-minute floor sequence. It's just going to be seated postures with in mind creating a little bit of space within the body, and that will help to create a little bit of space within your mind. So enjoy. I'm going to begin by coming into a seated position. So you might like to sit with your legs in more of a cross-leg position if that's comfortable for you. Or maybe try drawing your heel into the centre of your groin and then placing the other heel in front of that and then lifting your sit bones really nice and high so we're onto the bony part of your sit bones. So if you find this a bit uncomfortable, you find you're really gripping and your hip flexors or your knees are quite lifted, try rolling up a little blanket or maybe a little cushion and just popping that underneath your sit bones. So that will help to lift you up, open out the hips, and then your knees should feel more comfortable. So you can try that if you wish. So let's begin seated, finding that lovely sense of grounding through the sit bones. And then from those grounded sit bones, lengthening up through the spine and then really pulling up through the crown of the head up towards the sky. So we have this lovely sense of opposition. And as we pull up, you'll feel your heart naturally lifting and opening, and then just allow your shoulder blades to glide down your back. Maybe just letting the chin come in just a touch. So we have this lovely long spacious neck, an open heart and open posture. Placing your hands either down onto your knees or maybe up, palms facing the sky. Let's give ourselves a moment to arrive into our bodies and onto our mats. So closing the eyes and just starting to become aware of the rise and fall of your body as you breathe your natural breath. So just noticing the speed of the breath, the depth of the breath, and also where the breath goes to in your body. So you might notice if you've been rushing or maybe you've got a lot on your mind, you might notice the breath is more up in your chest. See if you can start to send that breath down into your belly. Let your belly be really soft. Let your chest relax, let your belly relax, and allow the breath to just start to move down into your belly. So as you inhale, you'll notice your belly coming forwards just a touch. And as you exhale, you'll feel the belly softening back inwards just a little bit. Allowing the mind to be completely with the expansion and release of the body. Just finding a lovely sense of smoothing over the forehead, releasing any signs of thought or concentration. Find space between your eyebrows and soften your temples, soften down through the nose and over your cheeks. Allow your eyelids to soften and then soften through the sides of the jaw into the chin and the lips. And then bring that lovely softness inside of your palate, finding a little gap between the teeth. Loosening right to the back of the jaw and letting your tongue gently rest as it falls away from the roof of the palate. And as you breathe in again, feel the face becoming even lighter, smooth, soft and open. Maybe just a little hint of a smile at the corners of the eyes and at the corners of the mouth. Return your awareness back to your breath and take a moment to watch the rise and fall of your body. Maybe noticing already the breath has begun to slow down. Enjoy watching 2 more of your natural breaths. Lovely. Take another breath in. And then as you breathe out, just allow your chin to drop down towards your chest. Let's send the crown of the head forwards. Slide the tips of your shoulder blades down the back. Loosen the jaw again and feel that lovely stretching right into the back of the neck, into the top of the trapezius. And then when you feel ready, take a breath in, lift the head, and just let the chin lift ever so slightly as we stretch through the front of the throat. Back into the centre, turning the head to the right, and then back through the middle, and then turning the head back to the left. Very welcome to keep your eyes closed or have a little look if you need to. Inhale back into the centre, and this time we'll drop the right ear to the right shoulder. Loosen the jaw again, let the side of the neck really stretch. Place where lots of us do carry tension. And then lift the head back through the middle, breathe in and breathe out to let the head drop to the left. Lifting the head back up into the centre. Well done. Let's drop the chin again. And this time we'll bring the hands forward. So we're incorporating the upper back this time. So we'll place one hand on top of the other. Gently bring the arms forwards. Open out those shoulder blades at the back. Let your head fall into the space you've created with your arms. Find that lovely upper back stretch. And then when you take a breath in next, lift yourself. Arms, head, body. Breathe out, press your palms out to the side, really energize through your fingertips, so spread your fingers. Popping the hands up in front, inhale. And then again, turn the palms outwards, so you're trying to push away the side walls, breathing out. 3 more times, inhale, lifting, feel a nice lift through your body. Open through the shoulders, and exhale, push the sides away. 2 more times, inhale. And exhale. 1 more time, breathing in. And breathing out. This time just allowing the arms to arrive down by the side of the body. We'll take the right arm up as we take a breath in, and then side bend over to the left as you breathe out. So as you bend into that left elbow, just check in your shoulder hasn't snuck up by your ear. See if you can keep that shoulder down, looking forwards, or if you've got the rotation in your neck and you do want to look up, you're very welcome to try that. Inhale, lift yourself up and through the centre. Bend into that right elbow, let the shoulder come away from the ear. Breathe out, just keep the head forward if that feels better. Inhale, back up through the centre. Exhale, so as we come over to the left, we're thinking of the right sit bone really drawing down, so we get that nice stretching through the side of the waist, finding space through the ribs as well. Inhale, left sit bone drawing down this time, opening out the left side. 1 more on each side, breathing in. Breathing out, create space in your side body. Inhale. We're creating this lovely curved shape in the spine as well. Lateral side bending. Beautiful. Let's come back up into the centre. Inhale, lift up really tall with both arms. Exhale, let your shoulders drop away from your ears. Inhale, lift through the heart. And as you exhale, you're going to start to turn yourself round to the right side. Float your hands down. 1 hand forward, 1 hand back, or maybe take your left hand and just place it onto the outside of your right knee if that's comfortable. Lift up through the crown of the head and carefully twist around to the right, taking the head around just a little bit so the neck twists the most, but you don't want to take all of the twist in the neck. So really twisting through the whole of the spine, helping to keep the spine mobile and healthy. Activating lots of back muscles here. And then we'll come back into the centre. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, drop the shoulders. Inhale, lift the body. Exhale, turn to the left, float those hands down. You decide, maybe 1 hand forward or 1 hand back. You can even hold on to the front of your leg somewhere as you twist, or maybe take that right hand to the outside of your left knee. And just gently gaze over the back shoulder. Bring the head back a little bit if it feels too much twisting is going on in the neck. Maybe close the eyes, just notice your breath. When you feel ready, a little lift as we breathe in and breathe out to slowly bring yourself back into the middle. Excellent. So we're going to just remove any little blocks that you might have underneath your bottom. And then we'll sit back and we'll take the legs forwards into our forward fold, Paschimottanasana. So we'll lift the buttocks up and out of the way so we're nice and high onto those bony sit bones again. And if you feel like you do get stuck coming forwards, feel free to bend your knees up a little bit. So from here, we'll just keep the hands to the thighs. Inhale, lift the heart. And as you come forwards, exhale, just bringing the heart forwards, the belly coming towards the thighs. And you can slide your hands down. So they might come onto your shins, they might come onto the ground, or they might come over the tops of the feet. So try not to be here with your shoulders all the way up. Let them drop. Let your heart come forwards. Allow the chin to come in a little bit. And just check in, the feet are facing up, the toes are facing up to the sky, so not rolling outwards. So settle into your forward fold. Take a moment to close your eyes. Allow your face to become lovely and soft and smooth again. And then take your awareness back to your breath. Can you feel that lovely expansion through the back body as we breathe here, right into those back ribs? That lovely feeling of breathing space into the back body, softening as we breathe out. Try and let go of any feelings or thoughts of frustration here because you're not touching your nose to your legs somewhere. Doesn't matter at all. Just find that place that feels really good and where you feel like you're creating a little bit of space somewhere. So for me here, I'm feeling space in the lower back, easing out the lower back, and also stretching into the hamstrings. So just enjoying 2 more breaths. When you feel ready, we'll take a little walk up the legs. So just walking the hands up the legs, taking your time, stacking the spine as we lift. Let's flex the ankles, gently push the heels away, lift through the belly, and then pop your fingertips just behind you onto the ground behind you. And lengthen through the belly, lift the heart, draw your shoulder blades together, and almost roll your biceps out to the side walls. Little lift of the chin. Let your breath fill the front of your body. Find that lovely sense of space through the heart. Might choose to breathe a little more deeply. 2 more breaths, maybe through the nose or maybe in through the nose and out through the mouth. 1 more. Perfect, well done. Bringing the chin back in. That's good. Okay, drawing the right foot up and into the side of your left thigh. So if you find your knees quite high off the ground, this might be where you want to grab a cushion or a little rolled up blanket, pop it underneath your knee for a little bit of support. Let's breathe in as we lift this time. And then as you exhale, you might want to bend your left knee as you come forward. So you decide. Depends on how flexible you are in the hamstrings and how easy you find this posture. So try not to do that forcing of the body, just stay true to yourself. Listen to your body, see where you are today. Drop the shoulders away from the ears. Allow the face to become lovely and soft again, and see if you can find that place where it's comfortable, but you feel like you're benefiting. So you're creating space somewhere, whether that's in the hips, the lower back, the hamstrings, and you are feeling a stretching sensation somewhere. Closing the eyes if you choose, just taking 2 more breaths here. And we'll walk ourselves back up again when you're ready. So just walking those hands up. And then once we make it to the top, let's bring the right foot back onto the ground. And then you can either keep your foot on this side, you can tuck it right up and in if you want to, or you can give yourself a little bit more space if you need it, or you can make it a little bit harder by crossing the foot over the other side of your left leg. So you can keep your left leg straight and your toes facing up to the ceiling, toes drawing back a little bit so we're nice and active through the left leg. Let's come into a twist now. So we'll breathe in, lift up really tall through the spine, and then visualize your lower back turning first of all. You're going to turn towards your thighs, go to the right, lower back turning, middle of the back turning, upper back turning, then finally turning the head and just placing the right hand just behind you on the ground. Checking you're not leaning back into that back hand, you're using it as a prop to lift you up and forwards. So although your spine is twisting, it's very upright. Little turn in the head like we did before if that's comfortable for the neck. Soften through the face. Maybe close your eyes for a moment, take a couple more breaths. Noticing your breath in your belly or maybe through the heart space. When you're ready, take another lift through the spine as you breathe in, and exhale to slowly bring yourself back. Wonderful. So once we make it back, we're going to bring this right foot onto the inside again. Just maybe take your little prop out to the side. We're going to take the left leg out into a V shape, and then we're going to draw the right heel up and into the groin. So hips facing forwards, left leg open. Again, flexing the toes a little bit. We're going to bring the left hand onto the left shin. Inhale as we lift up tall. So we've got lots of space going on through the spine, and then breathe out and can come into a little side bend. So you can, if you get there, just rest your elbow gently onto your knee or onto the outside of your knee, so we're not on the kneecap. And then we'll draw the top shoulder blade towards the bottom shoulder blade, so we get that lovely open space through the chest and through the heart center, and maybe turning the head and looking up, just if that feels okay for the neck. It does make it quite a lot more intense, so let the head come back if you need to. See if you can energize right to those fingertips. And if it is too much for that top shoulder, feel free just to pop your hand down onto your leg somewhere. Last breath here. And when you feel ready, turn the head back to the front before you come on up. And inhale, let's bring both arms up. Exhale, we're coming forward. So hands finding the ground, take a little walk forwards. Just check in here as we come down that we're not lifting up the left buttock. Try and keep that one grounded. And another is quite a challenging position for lots of us. Some of you might find you're quite low down, and others of you might be fairly high. So just tune in, make sure this feels good for the body. Notice where we're feeling stretching, where we're feeling space. Notice if you can use your out breath to let go anywhere, so maybe around your shoulders. One more breath. Take a walk up when you're ready. Stacking the spine, and then we're going to come back into that side bend. So place the left hand onto the left shin again. Breathe in, lift yourself lovely and tall, and exhale as we come over to the left. So you might find that when you get here again, it's actually far more comfortable, feel more spacious in the waist. So keeping the head forwards or maybe looking up. If you get here and you're quite comfortable and you're actually quite near your big toe, see if you can take your first two fingers, wrap it around your big toe and then seal it off with your thumb over the top, and then revolve. So energizing right to those fingertips, shoulders away from the ears, breathe. Definitely one that gets easier over time and with practice. One more breath. Head coming back, release the foot, take your time to roll on up. And this time we're going to take the right hand just behind you onto the mat, or just off your mat. And then your left leg's going to go round the back behind you. So tuck it in. Option one, lift your left buttock, twist, and then reach around the back using your left hand reaching up and over, or lift the hips. So push down into that hand, squeeze your bottom a little bit as you draw your hips forwards, and then look down to your bottom hand so your neck is safe, and reach and energize all the way to those fingertips as they reach round to the back corner. Really finding lots of space in the hip, in the thigh, and in the waist. Reach, reach, reach. And then we'll slowly land. Sweep the hand across the face. Lift yourself up really tall through the belly and take a little twist the other way. Slowly release. Well done. Let's sit back. So we're going to do that all on the other side. So let's bring the legs forwards. Lift those sit bones up and out of the way. And then we're going to draw the left foot back onto the inside of your thigh. So if your knee's quite comfy, you can leave it as it is. Or you can use that little prop just to pop underneath your knee. And we'll take a breath in as we lift up really tall. Don't forget you can bend your right knee if you wish. Exhale, come forwards. So think of belly towards the thigh, chest towards the knee, and then heart staying quite lifted and the neck in line with your back. So you're not letting your head hang and creating kinks in the neck. And you're not trying to force your nose towards your knee, so you've got this curving of the back. I'll show you that from the side. So not nose to knee, curving the back. Not here, and then letting the head hang. But trying to keep that nice long line through the back of the body and into the back of the neck. So we'll all look slightly different in this position. We just want to try and keep that nice long line through the neck so we're not kinking the neck. And creating space in the belly by not forcing the nose to be towards the knee. So one more breath there. And then take a little roll on up when you're ready. Walk your hands up along the mat. Lift your chest, and then we'll bring the left knee up towards the sky. Decide whether you want that foot tucked up and in. Maybe give yourself a little bit more space if you need to. Take the foot away from your belly, or the foot away from your buttocks. And then we'll bring that left foot over the top if you want to make it a little more challenging. So from here, right toes facing back, we're going to come into our twist around to the left. So let's breathe in, give those vertebrae lots of space so they can move more easily. Exhale, lower back turning, middle of the back, upper back. Gently placing the left fingertips onto the ground behind you. And taking the twist up into your neck if you wish. Slide the shoulder blades down the back, feel lovely and open through the heart. Let your belly become soft as you breathe again. Just take a moment here to pause and to watch your breath. So any movement in the spine, as well as twisting, is really beneficial to keep the spine mobile and healthy and juicy. And we're stretching those big muscles either side of the spine as well, keeping them lovely and mobile and pliable. And then we're also wringing out all of our digestive system and our internal organs as we twist. So it's like wringing out a sponge, getting rid of any toxins or staleness in there. And then when we come back, we'll have a nice flush of new blood with oxygen and nutrients coming into all of those internal organs. So when you feel ready, let's lift up really tall through the crown of the head as we breathe in, and slowly bring yourself back as you breathe out. Okay, left leg's going to come up and in to the groin. Send that right leg out to the side. Just adjust so you're really high up onto your sit bones again. Sometimes we have a tendency to sort of sit on the back of the sit bones, and then we've already curved the back. You're not going to be able to come forwards if you're sat there. So you want to come right up on the top. So heel into the groin. Let's take the right hand to the right shin. Inhale, lift up, and exhale, gently come into that side bend. So this shoulder slides away from the ears, just like we did before when we were seated. Top shoulder away from your ears as well. And do get rid of the arm if you need to. Energize to the fingertips. So see if you can just sort of finish off your posture. It just makes you feel more energized. So rather than having a floppy hand, extend to the fingertips a little bit, something going on in the hands. Draw the top shoulder blade towards the bottom shoulder blade, open the heart, maybe turning the head. Pausing, making sure this feels nice, this position. Do come up a little bit if you need to. Last breath. And when you feel ready, head coming back, let's roll ourselves up. Inhale, lift up through the middle, and exhale, placing the hands down and taking a little walk forwards. So it might feel completely different on this side. Check we've got both sit bones firmly placed onto the ground, foot still active, shoulders gliding down, trying not to do that nose to the ground thing. Lift the heart. So we still have space in the belly and we still have space in the heart. We're not closing everything off just to try and get the nose towards the ground. So space, think about space in the front of the body. Let's close the eyes, just come back to the breath for a moment. Tune in to the sensations that we're feeling, see where we can let go and soften as we breathe out. Last breath. And when you feel ready, take a little walk back up. Let's come back into that side bend again. So we'll place the right hand onto the shin. Inhale. So I always like to feel that lift, find space in the spine. Inhale there and exhale into our side bend. It's always so much better the second time. So maybe turning and looking up, maybe drawing that top shoulder blade back a little bit to get rid of that top arm if you need to. And if you are near your foot, maybe try just placing those fingers, first finger and second finger around the toe, thumb over the top. Some of you, if you're really quite flexible, you might even get your elbow to the floor. Stay up on the shin if you prefer. Energize to those fingertips. One more breath. Turning the head back to the front, just releasing the hand, slide the hand up the leg as we come back up. Well done. So from here, we're going to place the left hand round behind you. Tuck that right foot behind you as well. You can either lift the buttock, take that little twist, and then reach around the back with the right arm, having a little lift through the belly, or push down into the hand and the knees, lift the hips, squeeze the bottom, and then reach around the back. So really opening through the waist and the hip, into the thigh, squeezing the bottom a little bit, and then landing by drawing the bottom down, sweeping the hand across the face, and just taking a little twist round to the right side. Wonderful, slowly releasing. Brilliant. So let's come round. I'm going to take our legs into a wide V shape. So a position that quite a lot of us do find tricky. I've always found this one really tricky. So you might want to just pop a blanket underneath your buttocks again. Certainly make sure you're really, really high onto those sit bones. Keep a little knee bend. Don't think of this as trying to get your nose to the floor. Just think of this as finding space in the hips, the hamstrings, the lower back. So breathing in, and then as you breathe out, gently take yourself forwards for a little walk. So we're staying long in the belly, heart lifted, shoulders dropping away from the ears, keeping space in the neck. Check in with the feet. Some feet will tend to roll inwards or maybe outwards, mostly inwards. And find that place where you feel sensation that feels good. Feels like you're creating a little bit of space. So I'm getting a lovely release through the lower back. Sometimes it's nice just to give the toes a little wriggle out. You might find something release in the hip when you do that. So you might stay up on the hands. Some of you may ease down onto the elbows gently. Some of you who are super flexible and you do go down quite easily, just check in that your feet haven't then rolled in, and check in that you're not rounding the back. So see if you can bring your heart forwards and try not to completely relax onto the ground. So keep a little bit active through the legs by flexing the ankle and maybe hovering just off the ground if you do find it super, super easy. Okay, let's just enjoy another few breaths there. we'll take that little walk on up when you're ready. Walking up, walking up. Perfect, we'll slide the feet together. And then we'll take a nice chest stretch. So just like you did at the beginning, either taking the fingertips behind you and then just lifting the heart and drawing the shoulder blades together so we get this lovely open heart, or if you fancy something a little stronger just to finish, come into a tabletop. So I'm going to place the hands out to the side. Technically, it's fingers towards bottom. You can try that if you want to, but it's quite loading on the shoulders. So maybe try fingertips out to the side. Hardest option, keep your feet where they are and just simply squeeze your bottom, lift your hips and try and keep your head in line so we're not letting the head fall back. So chin in a little bit. If that feels a little bit too much, feel free just to pop one foot back by your calf and then you can use that as a little bit of a push off. Still squeeze the bottom, it's strong for the shoulders. Tuck your chin when you're ready, slowly lower. Well done, that's definitely one to practice. And then we'll come round to a seated position. Maybe back into your sort of half lotus or back into a cross-leg position. And this time we'll gather up and inwards. So inhale, lifting, palms come together. Exhale, finding your heart, lifting heart to meet your thumbs. Let's do that twice more. Inhale, feel your sit bones grounding. Heart lifting to thumbs. One more time. Inhale. Let the shoulders relax, find lots of space in the neck, let the jaw relax. Pause here, just take a moment. Taking a moment to acknowledge that lovely space that you've just created for yourself within your day and the space that you've created within your body. And acknowledge the space you've just created in your mind as well as you've moved with breath and completely focused inwards. Thank you for joining me, everybody. Namaste.